All right, so today we are going to be making an ebook reading plan. So we want to make sure that you are getting ready to read by finding books that you actually want to read. All right, really quickly, I want to remind you where you get these ebooks. You need to make sure that you are using your account on MyOn, Epic, through the apps if you have an iPad, or through the browser for your Chrome, Safari, or whatever internet browser that you are using. Also, if you've made yourself a New York Public Library card and you have access to Overdrive, definitely check out Overdrive. That's a great resource as well. So, how do you figure out what you want to read? Well, you want to start with what you already know and like already. So when I shop for books, I want to consider maybe a series that I really liked that I could go back to again for the book, or maybe a series that I heard about that maybe a friend of mine read, maybe a genre that I know I really like. If I'm really into a particular mysteries, or maybe books about animals, I want to go back to those genres. You want to look at authors that you really like, authors that you really felt like spoke to you. I know a lot of you last year really liked Tiger Rising, and that's the author Kate DiCamillo. So you can think about that. Also think about book recommendations. What are books that you, your classmates or other fifth graders have recommended? Next step. If you're still kind of stuck, this can help you to come up with some ideas. So you can pick some of these topics here, and you can help you to brainstorm. So I would just choose 3 or 4 of these categories that look kind of interesting to you. And then from there, we're going to do the next step, where we're going to brainstorm. So under each category that you picked from the previous slide, you want to jot down 2 or 3 words that connect to that category. So for example, I chose the category in the news in my life. And so I have been seeing in the news a lot of information about Black Lives Matter and protests. That could be a search term for looking for books that relate to that. I have seen a lot about the 2020 election. So I could maybe research maybe Kamala Harris. Maybe there's a book about her. She is the vice presidential candidate this year for the Democratic Party. I've also been thinking a lot about getting a dog in my life right now. Trying to convince my husband that maybe we should be getting a dog. So maybe I want to be looking up books about caring for a dog, or what the different breeds are. So that is how you can come up with some ideas as well. All right. So once you have that done, you're going to go to the next step, where you're actually going to help someone to find a bookshop. So in the slides that are posted in your Google Classroom, you're going to find your name. This one just says Partner A. It's a little generic, but it's going to have your name on it. And you have to find the slide with your name on it. And then you are going to want to jot down 3 search terms or ideas for books that you want to read. So maybe you thought about I really, really liked, the Percy Jackson series. Maybe you want to jot that down there. Or maybe I want to find a book about Kamala Harris, or about the dog. Jot down 3 search term ideas for books that you want to read, so that you have a sense of what to go look for once you head off to search for those books. Then you're going to want to find your partner, which is on the other half of your slide, and you want to jot down, look for books that your partner jotted. So if your partner here jotted about finding a book about presidential elections, let's say, you should be going on Epic, MyOn, or the New York Public Library Overdrive to find them a book that they would really like. Maybe find them 2 or 3 books that they might want to look into. And when you go to jot it down, you got to make sure that you include the full title and where they can get the book. So for example, Ursula's Funland, you can find that on Epic, right? So that's really important. So they know not only the title of the book, but where they can find it. All right, great. Final step, you want to jot down the books that you're planning on reading. So after you've done some research and you found some books for your partner, you want to jot down the books you're planning on reading. So I would say you want to have 3 to 4 different books, and you want to do a mix of fiction and nonfiction. Maybe 3 fiction, 1 nonfiction, or 2 and 2. It's up to you, just as long as you have a mix of both. And you also want to make sure that, all right, finally, as you can see, this is a question in this assignment. So you want to share out maybe what book that you are thinking about reading first and why. Did you find something surprising or unusual? You want to talk about that. You want to respond with, maybe if your partner found you something that looks really great, you want to share out about that. Make sure you're responding to the question in this assignment. Good luck.